Hello everyone, my name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we are going to be talking about A Star is Born 2018. Now, apparently, this is the fourth movie in A Star is Born movie series. There were some other Star is Born movies that were released in 1937, 1954, and 1976. I haven't seen any of those movies, and I probably never will. Only reason that I was interested in watching this one is because I saw a couple of clips from the movie. I saw the trailer, I liked the music, and it's Bradley Cooper's directorial debut. So with all of those elements coming into play, I was really intrigued, and I just got back from watching the movie, so let's get into it. We have Bradley Cooper, who plays Jack, and Jack is suffering from a disease that causes him to over-medicate himself, and he heavily drinks a lot to where he just passes out, stumbles around, falls down, pisses on himself, so many things that embarrass Allie, who is played by Lady Gaga. When we first have our encounter with Jack and Allie, they meet each other at this burlesque nightclub, and she's one of the drag singers. And Bradley Cooper's character Jack immediately falls in love with her after first sight. And there's another intimate scene when they have their first conversation where they're in the back room and he's asking about her eyebrow, and then he like slowly and sensually pulls the fake eyebrow off, which was great intimate moment. I would say that the first half of the movie is the best part because we are just starting to learn who these characters are, and how they meet each other is fantastic, and it's very intimate. I enjoyed it. And then the second half of this movie is when, you know, they finally get together, and then she gets a career, and then he's worried about her changing who she is as a person. Oh, you're changing. You're not who you once were when I first met you. And she's like, I'm not changing. But then we do see one scene where after she's done performing on stage, she's talking to her manager, and her manager says, oh, why didn't you use the backup dancers? She's like, I'm not going to use the backup dancers. But she gives in. She says, all right, I'll use the backup dancers. But then he's like, oh, we need to change your hair color. And then she's like, I'm not changing my hair. I draw the line right there and stuff. But then later on, we do see her with this outfit that's kind of weird and this hair that's kind of weird. She kind of looks like Cardi B or a Barbie doll or something. And, you know, at the beginning of the movie, she was talking about, yeah, people said I had a good voice, but then they wanted me to change my image, and I'm not going to do that. But then I guess she does change her image. You know, she's playing this pop music and stuff out of nowhere, and Bradley Cooper is like, oh, you changed yourself. She's like, and there's a scene where they're fighting in the bathroom. She's like, I haven't changed. He's like, you have changed, and I guess that causes him to drink again. I would say the middle part of the movie is the most sloppiest part because it really didn't give me an intimate, in-depth point of view of their marriage, even though I felt like it did give me a personal, in-depth view of their relationship at the beginning and how they got together. But then once they get into holy matrimony, I don't really understand what is really happening here. It's just the middle part of the movie that bothers me, because it just, to me, it goes by too fast. It doesn't really explain anything, and stuff is left up to interpretation. Like, is she really trying to change herself? Is he right in her? Is she really trying to change herself, or is she just like, yeah, this is what I want to do? Because in the bathroom scene, she's arguing with Bradley Cooper and saying, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm not changing, when he thinks that she is. Then I would say the third act in the movie is the most depressing part of the movie, because we see Jack on a downward spiral, and then Allie, you know, she's trying to hold it together, and she says that, hey, you know, through thick and thin, good, bad, I'm gonna hold on to this man that I love. And I'd say the third act of this movie is really good, and the way it ends, I would say it ends on a sad note. It ends on a very sad note. It ends on a downer, which Overall, I would say this movie is just really good. Shows the ups and downs of relationships, and becoming a superstar, and what that can do to you, and how that takes a hold of you, and how marriage is not always easy and whatever. But I would say that the performances and the directing is what really drive the story home for this movie. Overall, I will give A Star Is Born a solid A. I give it a solid A because the performances were great. The music in here was great. This kind of feels like a musical because there are lots of singing moments, especially at the beginning, middle, and end. Throughout the entire movie, there are singing moments, and I love them all. A lot of the songs in here made me cry a little bit. This stuff in the middle of the movie between Allie and Jack, where he's like, "You're changing." She's like, "I'm not changing." But then her manager is giving her all these suggestions, and she's like, "I'm not doing that." But then we see her do that. But then she's like, "This is what I want to do." And even the manager's like, "Well, she chose to do that." But then he could be lying, because there's another scene later on where the manager's talking to Bradley Cooper, and it's horrifying, and I think it's what caused Bradley Cooper to do his thing at the end because of the shitty manager. But yeah, the middle part of the movie I felt was a bit sloppy, but I enjoyed it. It was really good. It was solid, made me cry, and if a movie can make me cry, well, then that is a point in my book, a very high point, because I don't cry very often. I don't even cry about certain things in real life, but if a movie can get me teary-eyed, then hey, power to you. So yeah, Star Is Born is very good. I highly recommend it. And that's all I have to say. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.